Previously on Bravely Default 2, the party killed some more optional mini-bosses in order to obtain more equipment that is too heavy for them. This chapter also turned out to have way too many side quests. There were a few important quests like the one fleshing out Vigentio and the one giving a special moment to Elvis and Adelle.
Are you heading out somewhere?
Yes. I thought I might go for a walk to try and clear my mind.
Good idea. It should be nice with the sea so close by.
The sea? Yes. Perhaps a stroll along the beach would be nice. Would you like to come with me?
Sure. Why not? This is right about where you found me, huh?
It's so strange. It wasn't all that long ago, and yet it feels like a lifetime.
Well, we've been through a lot since then, I guess.
Yes. So much has happened.
This might be the longest journey I've ever been on. Longer than any of my sea voyages, even. I've seen so much since we set out. But I wouldn't have seen any of it if you hadn't found me when you did.
The wind crystal just started glowing all of a sudden. We followed it to where the glow was brightest, and there you were. I wonder if the crystal had already chosen you by that point.
Could be. But that wasn't what made me stick with you guys. I chose to do that myself.
Do you have any regrets?
Are you kidding? No way. I wound up with the best bunch of friends anybody could hope to have.
Yes, of course. Your hometown is somewhere on the other side of this sea, isn't it? What kind of place is it?
Oh, it's nothing much. Just a little village miles from anywhere. The fishermen go out fishing, the fishwives stay at home. And the kids? Well, they go shell collecting, crab hunting, swimming in the sea.
It sounds lovely and peaceful.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
I hope you find your way back there one day.
Me too. Someday. But not yet. There's still stuff we have to do.
I don't want our journey to end yet either. There are so many things out there that we have yet to see. And if we want to see them, we have to keep on going.
Yeah. Think of how much there is we still haven't explored.
I can't hope to explore it all, of course. I am still a princess of Musa. I have responsibilities, duties.
Sure, but what's to stop you from doing both?
What do you mean?
Well, you can do your duties while traveling, can't you?
Never mind. If we start talking about all the things I would dearly love to do, we shall be here all day.
Nothing wrong with that. It's better to want to do tons of stuff than nothing. What else is there to get you out of bed in the morning? Come on, tell me about some of the other things you want to do.
Really? All right. I want to... Well, for one thing, the list of books I want to read is almost endless. And I'd love to try my hand at cooking some of the delicious food we've eaten on our travels. Oh, and it would be wonderful to be able to fly on Gwillem's back again and gaze down at the world below.
Then let's do it. Let's do it all. What's stopping us?
I'd also love to, well, to visit your hometown.
You would? Sure. Why not? We'll all go. What's so funny?
Oh, it's just that, well, talking about my hopes and dreams like this, it's something I would never have dared to do before I met you all. In fact, I would never have dared to even have hopes and dreams. My duties as a princess were all I ever thought of. All I ever felt I could think of.
Well, you have a strong sense of responsibility. That's more than can be said for most.
No, I was mistaken. Listen, the sound of the waves. Can you hear it? I couldn't. When we came here before, I couldn't hear it at all. No, I could hear it, of course, but I wasn't listening. And how can someone incapable of truly listening ever hope to rule a kingdom?
I guess having a few friends around has done you good, huh? It helps to share your burdens sometimes.
Yes. Yes, it truly does. It's such a lovely sound. I feel so calm listening to it. And I'm so glad I can finally hear it.
You have friends now, Gloria. You don't have to bear the weight alone.
And I won't. I promise. Now, shall we head back into town?
Sure. What's this? A shell? That gives me an idea.
Alright, now he'll probably make an accessory.
Hey, Gloria. I got something for you.
A seashell?
Yeah, I found it on the beach. Hold it up to your ear.
Why ever would I... like this? Oh! I can hear... waves.
You said that sound helped you to feel calm, right? Well, now you can take it with you wherever you go.
It's like I'm back at the seaside.
But, I guess you don't want to be carrying that stupid thing everywhere, right?
Oh, but I do. In fact, how about... there?
A necklace, huh?
But it's also kind of spiky.
Yes. Do you like it?
It's perfect.
Then I shall wear it with pride.
Wave Song Necklace. Sound of the sea. Listening to the sound of the sea again, Gloria. Yes, it's like waves crashing onto a beach. It's so calming. The oceans always help me to relax too. I used to spend hours just gazing out at the horizon. I wonder what it is that makes it have that effect. Well, people back home believe that we came from the sea. Our ancestors did, I mean, way back. From the sea? You mean across the sea from another continent? Not like actually in the sea. They say that's where the human race was born. The primordial soup, which would make the ocean kind of like our mother, I guess. That's fascinating. It was a big deal when I was a kid. The grown-ups were always telling us to treat her with respect, to give thanks for her blessings and all that stuff. The sea is our mother. Yes, I can see that. There's something so comfortable and familiar about the sound that the shell makes. Almost like being wrapped in a warm embrace. Yeah, exactly. People who didn't grow up near the ocean don't get it usually, but I guess you're different. If we're going to pull this off, we're going to need bomb arms, and plenty of them. I already have 9 out of 5. Except... You know those bomb arms that Inferno Golems and Sizzle Mops sometimes drop? Well, I'd like you to get me some. I'd just buy them if I could, but they're not cheap. Thank you, now I can let the cat out of the bag. We're going to use these bomb arms at the annual guards party at the palace. The plan is to plant them in a big cornfield and then boom! We'll have enough popcorn to feed an army. It's a great plan, right? Sounds terrible. Hey, it was King Vernon's idea. Apparently he was wanting to do it since he was a little boy. Would any of it be edible? Whatever. Oh dear, oh dear, not again. We've been having a lot of trouble with Noxalos crawling out of the Chromatite Mines lately. I wonder if you'd be good enough to head down there and give them a good walloping. Except... make sure I do not have the monster taming passive equipped, because that one interferes with monster killing quests. Somehow they just know if you tame them instead of killed them. Why must the mines crawl creatures intent on our destruction? The good son, I seek an able volunteer to gather for me a pink ruby from the Chromatite Mines. My mother misplaced her wedding ring, and is greatly vexed. I must make her pleased once more. Accept. Knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Aha. Medium JP orb. Red cap. Brave suit. Light talisman. Nasty surprise. Divine Rod. We already had one of these. That means someone made it before Roddy did. Weird. Finally. Pathogen. Assassin Dagger. There's another... Oh, there's another item here. Oh no, it's the one I was looking for actually. Pink Ruby. Okay. I think it was that close by. My mother scolded me most ferociously when she learned that I had requested you place yourselves in danger on our behalves. Angered, I declared I would go instead myself, and this reduced her to sniveling tearfulness. But we must not blame her for her motherly ways. All is well now. Thank you, friends. You have made us both happy indeed. Report. You did. I haven't had a single report of Noxolotls attacking anyone. Thank you so much. But wait, you know how long and black and slimy and generally unpleasant they are? Well, apparently if you bake them, roast them, and serve them on rice, they're actually quite delicious. I mean, I haven't had the courage to try one myself, but if you ever have the urge, perhaps you could go give it a go.
And that concludes our report. We are pleased to announce that the restoration of the city is proceeding ahead of schedule.
It certainly seems so. Though we must not grow complacent. Everything must be done to ensure the people of Savalon can resume their former lives without delay.
Yes, Your Majesty.
You seem pretty busy.
Oh, I merely issue the orders. It is those carrying out the work who have the difficult job.
I admire your humility, Your Majesty. But I doubt it's as simple as you make it sound.
Several knotty issues remain, but I shall not rest until all have been resolved. We are getting there, one day at a time.
Your Majesty, there... Oh, forgive me. May I make an urgent report?
At ease, soldier. Please, continue.
We have ascertained the cause of the drying of the city wells, Your Majesty. The water level of the cavern which supplies them is dangerously low.
The problem lies at the source, then. Perhaps we should have done more to prepare before the waters receded. Very well. Water from the palace wells must be distributed among the people. Prioritize those who have been in need the longest.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Did your water supply always dry up like this?
No. Since His Majesty, the King of Musa, helped us to overhaul the underground waterway system, not so much as a single well has failed us.
How about further back than that? Could there be a record of something?
Ah, I see what you're intimating. Yes, let us inquire with Dromid. He is sure to have some pertinent information.
I'll go talk to him. You've clearly got enough on your plate as it is.
Accepted. 71 to be king.
Oh, it is you. And what brings you to the dungeons?
There's something I need to ask you about.
The wells are drying up, you say?
Has anything like this ever happened before?
Not that I recall. No, there was one time. Long ago, when I was but a boy. There will be a record of it in the palace. Search the bookshelves. It should be there somewhere.
Okay. Thanks, Drummond.
That was not very specific.
This must be it. Yep, it's just like Drummond said. The wells have dried up before. Looks like it was caused by monsters. They destroyed the old waterways, which meant the water leaked away before it could reach the wells. I wonder if that's what's happening this time too. Guess we'd better head down there and take a look. Looks like we found our culprits.
You're in for a treat.
They look fiercer than usual.
Get serious.
Yikes, they have quite a lot of hit points this time.
It's nothing.
I shall endeavor
Want to see what I
return
can
the
really
favor.
do?
Fire... a Stega.
Do we hand there? I'm not just a dark hand for a weapon, you
Your
know?
maker. My might knows no bounds. Here goes a song. Here goes very well. A welcome intervention. Now you've made me mad.
There we go.
I'm amazing.
Phew. Doesn't look like the waterway is damaged this time. Let's go tell the prince.
So, the creatures were blocking the flow of water, but the waterway itself remains intact. We must take immediate steps to ensure that this does not happen in the future. Thank you for resolving this matter so quickly. Hopefully the wells will soon be full again.
Oh, it's Drummond you need to thank, really.
Drought. It is one of the greatest threats to our way of life, and one which consumed my brother. He thought he had found the solution at last.
You must assist me, Pollux. This is the opportunity we have been waiting for. The opportunity to change our kingdom's fortunes forever.
But an inexhaustible supply of water, Castor? Surely such a thing is too good to be true.
It was all Edna's plot to weaken the crystal.
And the thought of having to invade another kingdom in order to acquire it? Well,
You care more about other kingdoms than your own? Is that it?
of course not. That is not what I mean, and you know it.
Then what do you mean? I, for one, would do anything for our kingdom. Anything. Up to and including the invasion of another. The shortage of water has held our people, our land, back for too many years. This must end.
And it will. We have new waterways, and soon we will find new sources to tap.
Soon? Not soon enough. The waterways barely sustain us. And what if something were to happen to them before your precious plans bear fruit? How can you and Father not see? It is not enough to plan for the future. We must help ourselves in the here and now. If we do not, there may be no future. I mean to aid the living, breathing citizens of Savalon, not those who may never come.
But Castor,
Enough! I can see that you and Father will never agree with me.
I thought my brother reckless and hot-headed. I refused to support his plan. And so he threw me into a jail cell. I understood his desperation to save those living in the here and now. He could not reconcile himself with our father's belief that, though his people suffered hardship now, their future would be one of plenty.
So did you...
No. I understood, but I did not agree. I was of the same mind as my father. Castor could not trust that the golden future we envisaged would come to pass. I have since begun to wonder if we trusted too much in it ourselves. And so, though others may deem him to have been dangerously misguided, I now see the wisdom in my brother's words. Yes, the future is important, but it must be reached one step at a time, and not at the expense of those living in the present. It is a balancing act, and not an easy one. But this is the challenge I have undertaken, and I intend to see it through.
So you're gonna see that both their dreams come true?
Yes. Yes, I suppose I am. And I shall not rest until I have succeeded.
Okay, 71 done. Giant's armor. In good hands. It seems the wells are back to normal since we defeated those creatures. Good, I hate fighting those weird shapeless things. I'm far from fond of them myself. Still, if that's what it takes to keep the water flowing in Savalon, it's not such a big price to pay. And until the city's back on its feet, every little helps. Ah, it might be a while yet too. Prince Pollux has got quite a job on his hands. Yeah, but you know what? He's taking this to this better than I thought he would. I think he's got this. The soldiers seem to like him too. He's quite the dashing young ruler. Well, if he can get the rest of the kingdom on board, they'll have everything sorted before we know it. I have to say, when I first saw Prince Pollux, I didn't think he'd have so much, well, substance, I guess. Well, he is certainly taking his father and brother's last wishes very seriously. Yeah, and I'm sure he'll find a way to balance both their dreams. Savalon's in good hands.
Greetings, and thank you once again for your aid in unmasking the assassin who hid amongst us.
Oh, but I didn't really do a whole lot. It was more of a team effort.
The entire sorry affair was the inevitable result of our having allowed a dark truth to fester for too long. Throughout the history of Savalon, there have existed certain individuals possessed of secret powers. Individuals known as shadows.
You mean people like Marla? Yeah, disguising yourself as someone else is a pretty impressive trick.
Indeed. And the use of such a trick for nefarious ends was inevitable, given the grievance that was allowed to remain unaddressed. I would ask for your aid in resolving this matter. There is a diary that I would like you to retrieve. I hid it in an abandoned mansion to keep it from prying eyes. It contains the writings of the shadows themselves.
Say no more. We're on it.
Message from the shadows. I'd like you to retrieve a certain diary I hid in an abandoned mansion in order to keep it from prying eyes. It will cast light on Savalon's past and perhaps allow us to think about our future. Holy dagger. Can't hit it with my sword? Okay.
This should be fun. Now you've made me mad. Yeah!
A powerful demon.
My trump cards.
What did it try to do? Use some kind of time magic. I should have prepared against that, damn it.
I'm not just a dab bag now. Where's in your
Here goes a song. Very well. My voice. Here goes a welcome intervention.
Damn it, it's using it in response to buffs or something?
I live to fight another day. Time to get serious. Yeah, I'm all set.
Considering its weaknesses, I may want to change to knife-type equipment. Why are some of these knives so freaking heavy? Fourfold flurry.
Want to see what I can really do?
Nothing like a wee pick-me-up.
I shall endeavor to return.
Do we actually have stop resistance? I think maybe Unshakable Will has something to do with it. I'm not sure.
I'm not just a dab hand to a weapon, you know?
I can finish you off with fourfold flurry spam.
Yeah! We've got to stay focused till the end.
Maya's diary. When my beloved father told me the truth, I could scarcely believe it. To think our family harbored such a secret. Informed me we were charged with a special mission, one we had long carried out for the sake of our kingdom. Unbeknownst to the outside world, we had successfully prevented any number of crises that could have consumed the land. Our forebears may have stained their hands with blood, but it was always for the greater good. Those were my father's words. He sought my forgiveness for having forced this burden upon me, when in truth I had not resented it. What I felt was a powerful bond with all those who had gone before me. I was glad. When the kingdom we had served so long fell in hard times, that wretch Bernard was welcomed, and my father murdered. I despised them all. Hypocrites. Traitors. I despised them for using my family when it suited them, and then discarding us. I despised them for not protecting my father, a man who lived to serve his realm. I despised everything about this accursed place. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. I burn with a desire for vengeance. Alas, it is not yet time, but there will come a day when they will pay for what they have done. Until then, I will remain concealed. I will use the arts of deception my father schooled me in, and I will discard the name I was born with. I am no longer Maya. I have no use for her now. I need only bide my time. Maya's diary obtained.
Well? Did you find it?
I think so. This is it, right?
Yes. This is it.
You're not going to turn out to be Maya in disguise, are you?
It was placed in my chambers by an unknown hand after Lord Lupus's untimely demise. I now believe that it was put there by Maya. Tell me, what did you feel when you read the words written herein?
I guess I felt, I don't know, a strong desire for revenge?
Yes, that is certainly a sentiment present in the text. But personally, I feel something else more strongly. A sense of duty to a father gone too soon. A fierce and unstinting love. What else could have driven a bitterness so profound, so all-consuming? It is the great shame of my tenure as record-keeper that certain events occurring in the shadows were allowed to remain unwritten. It is no exaggeration to say that this omission was the cause of all that befell us. I am fully aware that no amount of hand-wringing will help us at this late stage. And yet...
Whoa.
Come, Drummond. You have suffered enough. Stop punishing yourself and return to us. If for no other reason than your health, such confinement cannot be good for you.
Thank you for your kind words, Lady Siglus. But my crimes are grave and many. I failed to stop Prince Castor. I was complicit in the concealment of King Orion's death. I must take responsibility for our nation's subsequent descent into chaos. I would argue that my imprisonment is, if anything, not nearly punishment enough for my crimes.
Then why remain here? Why not take up your pen again for the sake of the realm? Write of the lies that were propagated, the truths that were concealed. The servants of the realm whose names were blackened needlessly.
Of whom exactly do you speak?
And if you cannot, perhaps you might at least have the decency to end this farce.
What? Lady Cygnus? Of course. Now I understand. When she spoke of those whose names were blackened needlessly, of truths that were concealed, I see now what she meant. She was right. I must take up my pen again. That which was hidden must be recorded.
Does that mean you're coming out of your cell?
No. My debt to society is far from paid. But I will do what I am able to from behind these bars. I will not be needing this. Here. There will be no easy way out for me. The path I walk is a harder one. But in walking it, in setting down this great weight, perhaps I might begin to serve the realm again.
Quest complete. Holy Dagger. Dromed's on the case. It's crazy to think that Morla murdered those elders out of duty to her father. Aye, none of it would have happened if he'd not got caught up in that whole mess, poor fellow. It's a tragedy, right enough. So she wanted revenge on the nation that framed her father and drove him to his death. And who can blame her? He was all she had left after her mum died. And she clearly idolized him, judging by that diary of hers. They'd probably have had a nice, happy life together if it hadn't been for the Rars who set him up. At least the existence of this diary provides a means by which Lupus's reputation can be restored. Yeah, I'm glad Dromed's on the case. I'm sure he'll set the record straight. He will. He takes his duties very seriously indeed. And so he should. People's fates depend on it, not to mention the kingdoms. Aye, it goes to show how important it is to keep accurate records, eh? Mind you, my own record when it comes to keeping a diary is 3 days. Oh, come on. You've got to try harder than that. Aim for 10 days at least. No, a year surely. It's the least that can be expected.
Lonsdale.
Stand down, lad. We've no reason to go at one another now. I've not even got a leader left to fight for.
How come you're on your own? Where did all your men go?
Back home to Holograd, where they belong. And once I'd seen them safely there, I handed him a notice.
You did? But the Empire must be in total chaos without you right now. Surely they need you. Without someone to guide them, there'll be another war before we know it.
You're far too high an opinion of me, lad. I couldn't even guide my men to victory. No, there's only one thing I'm good for now, and that's delivering a little gift.
Huh? What do you mean?
Never you mind. Just remember this. Before a war can truly end, there's debts have to be settled.
Go after Lonsdale. Remember this, before a war can truly end, there's debts that have to be settled. I came here as a vanquished foe to deliver a little gift to the victor.
You're kind indeed, allowing a vanquished foe entry to your kingdom, your majesty. And kinder still, allowing that foe's men safe passage home.
It was the least I could do for one so dedicated to the well-being of those in his charge. Now, what brings you here, Sir Lonsdale?
I've come to repay your kindness.
A laudable sentiment. And how do you propose to do so?
With a gift. The gift of my head.
Your head? Indeed.
It's all I have left to offer. Make an example of me, Your Majesty. Appease your people.
You understand well what it means to rule. And I thank you for your understanding. However, I cannot grant your wish just yet. Were I to see the blood price paid too soon, my people might think me a wild-eyed tyrant. I understand that you and Sir Sloane were once comrades in arms. Perhaps you might pay your respects at his grave before I accept your offer.
It would be an honor, Your Majesty.
Very good. My men will show you the way.
Lonsdale?
Did Sloane ever tell you how we met?
No. Guess he never had the chance before he...
Yeah, we were mercenaries. Same outfit. And we were rivals. More evenly matched pair you never did see. For every win, a loss. And vice versa. But we stayed in touch, even after we moved on to pastures new. Last time I saw him was in a tavern somewhere. Look at us, eh? 2 swords for hire, both bending the knee at last.
Aye, 'tis happy indeed that we have found causes for which we would gladly give our lives.
Poppycock. I managed to wangle myself a generalship because Holograd's got no good men of its own, and you, you're a glorified nursemaid.
Ah, do not test me, Lonsdale. Princess Gloria is a girl wise beyond her years, and will make a fine ruler one day.
Well, all right for some. The lad in charge round my way these days is a liability and no mistake. He's had his head turned by some brazen temptress, and now his sights are set on a prize he can't possibly win. When they say pride comes before a fall, they're speaking of this one, sure enough.
And as his loyal retainer, art thou not honor-bound to steer thy liege lord to less treacherous waters?
Of course I am. But that only works if you listen. And I'm just a hired help.
Then thou must needs redouble thine efforts, old friend. When kings err, men die. Is that not how the saying goes?
Yeah, I know the saying, thank you very much. Anyway, less of the doom and gloom, let's have a drink, shall we?
Thou would fain face me in a battle of the cups, good sir?
No, I would fain quench my thirst, ya pillock. The only thing I'll be facing you in is a fight to put the record in my favor. I'm glad I got to come here, Sloane. I owe you an apology. If I'd listened, we'd not have had to meet again like this. When kings err, men really do die. I'd hope my punishment for understanding that too late would have been to fall by your sword. But you went one better than that, didn't you, you wily old devil? And now the record's firmly in your favor.
What do you mean?
But he didn't even have to beat me himself, did he? He got you lot to do it for him. Got me right good, that did. Being clobbered by a bunch of kids he'd spent 5 minutes training. But if that were his last little dig, then fair play to him. We were even, me and him. As many wins as losses. But not anymore. And now that's settled, I've not much left to stick around for. I'd best be getting back to King Vernon.
There will be no need for that, Sir Lonsdale. Sir Sloane's final victory was punishment enough. He was always a formidable opponent. This being so, as Lord and Regent of the fair realm of Halcyonia, permit me to make this proclamation. Lord Lonsdale, General of the Army of Holograd, invader and despoiler of these peaceful lands, you are hereby pardoned of all crimes.
Your Majesty?
There is a time for vengeance, and a time for forgiveness. Now go, wherever the road may lead, and may the memory of your old friend travel with you.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Quest completed. Price of defeat. Old comrades. Sir Sloane sure knew a lot of people. Guess it comes with being a famous warrior. I heard that he traveled far and wide as a younger man in his search to find worthy opponents. In fact, it was on his travels that he met my grandfather. And it seems his mercenary associates continued to visit him long after he came to Musa. You think Lonsdale was one of them? It's certainly possible. He often spoke of one whom he had never quite managed to best, an old comrade of long standing. Knowing what we know now, I would strongly suspect it was him. An old comrade, eh? Aye, they probably have seen a few things together and as hired swords. You need people you could trust. Yeah, people you can trust with your life, and who trust you with theirs in return. You think things maybe have turned out differently in the fight against Holograd if Sir Sloane was still around? What, like Lonsdale would have switched sides or something? Ah, it does sound unlikely now you say it out loud. Shame, it would have been amazing to see the two of them fighting together. I'll not forget a debt I owe you, King Vernon, not for as long as I live. Thanks for tuning in to this Let's Play of Bravely Default 2. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and or hit the bell icon.